everything, and then pop, which helps a lot when you're having frustration because it's just a stress relief without having to raise their hand and say, I'm feeling stressed, I'm 7. They don't maybe have the emotional connection to put a word to what they're feeling, but they can feel that when I'm tight and I let it go, that feels good to me. Wrist flexors, if you were a gymnast, you will know this one is pulling your wrist in and then to the opposite side. I tell my students to pull to the point of discomfort but not pain. Sometimes you can get some really flexy 5th graders that'll touch their fingers to their arm. And then just go on the opposite side and reminding them to take deep breaths the whole time. And now we're going to move a little bit to the lower body. It's calf raises, so we're going to be flexing your gastrocnemius muscle. You got to sit up really straight, hands either on your desk or on your waist, and you're going to just point your toes up and squeeze and hold, and then release them. Point them up and release them. As you can see, these are airplane exercises, but if I'm 6, I haven't had a lot of need to be stretching in small spaces. That space feels really big to me. The next one is one of my students' favorite one. We call it shimmy shrugs. So you're still sitting up 90-degree knees and hips, and your hands are on your quadriceps, and you're going to shimmy side to side, but the point is to engage your abdominals on the obliques. So you're breathing in and out and in and out. In a minute, we're going to add some weights. This is really difficult to teach a 2nd grader, but if you give them a weight and teach them what it feels like to contract their abdominals while they're sitting there, they'll be able to really connect at it. And if you do this, this is one of the best ones. If you're really adding some resistance, that you can actually get your heart rate up, which is really difficult to do in class, especially if you have a teacher that is not a fan of the wiggle worm and wants everyone to be giving full attention all the time. Hollow outs is one the kids think it's cute because it's kind of like a cat. I like it because I have an old back, and if you're like me and you have an aging back, then it feels really good. You're just going to put your hands towards the front of your desk and your feet a little bit forward, and then just arch your back, and then come back down.
Like a cow cat in place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when we do those whole class exercises, especially for the littler grades, we add noises and meows and pants and all sorts of different fun things for the whole class. If you're thinking about your student needing a strategy for this, I would recommend the strategy is no one even knows it's happening. You're a Jedi ninja and it's just stretching on your own. My favorite of all, because I think it feels really good, is the trapezius stretch. So I teach them to interlock their fingers and then push them out. And then they're just stretching the back of their spine out. My 5th and 4th graders, I have to remind them, please don't poke your neighbor on the head. This is where we start to get, well, my mom said I could do these stretches, and then we're starting that distraction, which we're trying to avoid by getting them to get re-engaged themselves. We're going to move on to some isometric contractions using what I call the force. So underneath your desk, there's a sandbag